already know what you're gonna say. And I said, well, what am I gonna say? He said, you're gonna say good.
Welcome to a new YouTube video. It is Tuesday and we get heavy bench on the schedule. And I'm not gonna keep it too long today in the intro, just because I gotta keep getting warmed up and not rest too long in my warm-ups, and then I have, longer rest periods afterwards, like 5 minutes, when I get to my top sets. So first of all, the plan right now is just ramp the weight up until I reach a top set. Last week I did 125 kilos wasn't a too good of a day, and week before that I actually did 127 and a half. So we are 4 weeks exactly out from Worlds. I compete on the 18th of June at 7 p.m. Lithuanian time. I don't know when that is in Swedish time yet. I think it's 1 hour. It's either 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. I hope it's 5 p.m. But so first of all, I got bench today, and what I'm thinking about, my mindset for today, is actually something that I realized from like this last week. I've been thinking about it a lot. Is I've been kind of just arching, and when I just arch, what has happened is I've arched more in my lower back and to my stomach, and this has caused me to, like, when I bench, basically what has happened is when I go straight down, flaring my elbows, going straight down, what's happening is the touch point is lower on my abdominal, and that even though I go out with my elbows, it's gonna be like a tuck MM, and if you tuck your elbows a lot, you actually kind of have to go deeper then, because if I tuck my elbows here and if I just push here, like what's happening is now I am like way deeper than here. So it's a little bit easier catch that if you're flaring your elbows out. And if I touch, I'm supposed to touch here, and what I realized is I've been arching too low when my arch is supposed to really come from my my lower traps and my chest rising. And I know this, it's just sometimes, you go about training, you train and you train and you train, and then all of a sudden you notice like, oh wait, I'm doing something different, and then like you can change it up. So I haven't really noticed that because I haven't had to think about my lower traps for like a long time, because I spent so much time training it, so that's why I haven't been able to I didn't have to really think about it too much. But today I do gotta think about it to get better touch point, because then depth is actually gonna be better, even though the range of motion is like a little bit shorter, if that makes sense. And also I get more tightness and everything. So that is the plan for today. Arch from my chest instead. We'll see where I end up. I would be happy if I did like 120 kilos, to be honest. I don't know, my bench has been a little bit fatigued since that 127 and a half. The 127 and a half was not an overshoot, but I haven't touched that weight for so long, so since then I've been kind of a bit fatigued. And that will come around on meet day, but I got 3 more weeks to push before taper week. So I can push the single. I kind of want to be smart about it, not be like too stupid and go too heavy, so I get too fatigued and then don't have any good training sessions. So building that momentum, like I talked about previously for nationals in the meet, is like building momentum is huge when it comes to your training, and especially when going into a meet. So it's not that I'm supposed to go easy right now, because if I go easy, I'm not gonna get the overcompensation where I'm really fatigued, we pull back on volume and on weights, and then I get an overcompensation, I'm super strong midday. I won't get that if I don't get fatigued. So I have to accumulate fatigue. I'm supposed to start feeling a little shitty, and it's supposed to feel heavy and hard. But if I go too heavy and hard, I'm gonna lose the momentum, and then like every session is gonna be hard, but like 1 taper week isn't like gonna be enough to recover from. So that's like the thing, you have to have a balance in between where you create that momentum and a good feeling and accumulate a lot of confidence for your meet, but you also have to make sure you're accumulating fatigue. So it's that balance between, because too much fatigue, taper week won't do, you won't be strong meet day. Too much momentum and confidence, you won't you'll be strong, but also you won't have like that edge where you get overcompensation, and then probably you're not gonna feel too good on meet day. And yeah, those kind of things. And also I want to build momentum because I am cutting weight. So with that said, let's get into bench and I'll see you when I get to the top set. That was 127.5 kilos, and I'm not gonna go heavier, but because it was a little bit heavy. 120 though was really good, and I'm very happy that I could do 127.5, because my plan honestly was to just do 120, 122.5 to build more and to get that momentum a little bit, because in bench I struggle a little bit with getting momentum, but RP was supposed to be 8 today, and so 127.5 felt good. What I noticed though is when I did the lift off, like just before, I got like, you know when you get like a flash of just a thought that is a little bit doubtful, and I got that just before the lift off, and due to getting that, what basically happened is my lift off got just a little bit heavier, and when it got a little bit heavier, what I did was I actually arched up, like I just pushed up myself more, because I know that if I push myself up more, I get more strength. But then I got like the flash of thought again. Like always when I got that thought, I was like, this is fine, I can do it. But I got that flash, and it just, like on a minor, like 0.1% level, it affected my technique a little bit. And that's why, like, technique-wise, it wasn't as good as 120. I don't think it's strength, though. I think it was that I got a little bit scared. Like, I got, like, the flash of, when I got down to the bottom doing the pause, I also got that flash, like, kind of like I could feel it being heavy a little bit. And that kind of, just a flash of doubt. And, you know, when you get, like, that second of doubt, I don't know how to really explain it, but I think you've noticed it that when you do a warm-up, it feels really good. You go up to a weight, and then all of a sudden it's like, you get it. I got the same thing when I did squats yesterday on my top set, like just when I got to depth. Like when I sat down on the middle of my foot, when I just was supposed to, you know, push down to depth, I noticed I got like that flash of doubt and got forward a little bit more on my toes. So I still hit depth and it was good, but it got heavier than it was supposed to. And then I didn't go heavier, but I think it was like the same thing. And I think this is the thing with me. I've done like triples at 130 kilos. Like I've done these weights before, but I've never been able to do them consistently. It's like when I first got to 170 kilos, like I am still a little, sometimes get that flash of doubt with 170 kilos, but in squat and 200 in deadlift, but way less nowadays. But in the beginning, when like, you know, I did 170 kilos like the first times, every time I did it, you know, I was scared and I had to be kind of in good shape. And the same for 200 in the deadlift. And it's like the same here. Like these are weights that are new to me, to my top end. And it's like when I go up to 185, 190 in the squat and like 215, 220 in the deadlift, like to my max, like what I've done, you know, that's when I get a little bit scared. And I try to like think about it like this, that, okay, I get a little bit scared with 127.5. But that's okay. Like it's okay because it will pass as I get stronger, and I'm not gonna try to really fight it so much. I'm just gonna try to like analyze in the moment. Like, okay, I got that flash of doubt. Was it like, did I need it? Because the weight still moved great, but every time when I get that flash of doubt, I usually make some small minor change in my technique, and that minor technique change, that actually makes it a little bit harder than it has to be. And so that doubt, it doesn't do me any good. And what I do to like, in the moment, what I do when I feel that doubt, it makes my technique a little bit different. And it doesn't make it as good. And that's something that I found I'm way better at now, but it's always like when you get to new heights and new PRs, I find that I struggle with that again and again. And then, you know, for now, like with 200, I don't feel anything in the deadlift anymore. Like, it's like, yeah, maybe with 210, but like, I can always get 200 because I've repped it a lot of times now. And I think it's one of those things that once I get stronger, once I get more used to doing these weights, and that's why like today, yeah, I can stay with 120 and everything, but getting more used to like actually touching this weight and feeling it, not going heavy on it just because going heavy, but if it's there on the day like it was today, because 120 felt good, and you know, it is supposed to be a heavier bench session, then that's the time when I can hit it. And if it's there on the day, and today it was there on the day, and you know, the thing is now I have more sessions when it's there, so I gotta appreciate that. It means that I'm stronger, but at the same time, like, it will take, like, after a while, it will be something that I can, you know, put on the bar any day. And then my max probably, when I can do, like, I think when I'm able to like always put on like 120 kilos on the barbell, like 120, 127 and a half, like always do that, because previously I was always able to do 115 on the bar, but anything above that was like, I had to have a perfect day to be able to do 120, and then that's when my max was 130. So I think like for me, it's always like this thing that when I get more used to weight, when I start being able to be at 170 kilos in the squat, that's when I got to 190 for a PR. So I know that the weights that I'm able to train on most of the time are always way like 20 kilos, like literally always like 10 to 20 kilos like lower than my PR. And that's, you know, a confidence thing for me, because that means, okay, my PR is better, because when I have that perfect day, it will come basically. But so now I'm gonna go down and do sevens. I'm gonna go with 100 for the first set, and then I'll see if I go lower or upper, but I wanna really focus on the pause. And when I do that, it for sure gets heavier if I do like perfect pause. Normally on Tuesdays on this session, my boyfriend is with me and training. I train later, but today I really wanted to just train in the morning and when I have the most focus instead. So otherwise he's usually with me to give me a press signal, but not today. So I want to focus on it like really, because he holds me a long time on the reps, so the reps get super hard. So I'm gonna try to duplicate that, to recreate that, but being on my own, that's why I'm just gonna do 100. So let's go. This is an M-rep, so RP7, I've done 2 sets of 6s, so if it was the right RP7, I should be able to do 9 reps. Let's see where we end up. Probably could have grinded like one more, but the last one felt very hard, so, and I don't even save the reps, but 10 is good. It means that probably my 6s were too low and our RP6 instead of RP7, so that's a good thing with reps. I don't always have them, but sometimes. Now we got biceps. All right, and done for today. I actually didn't film the hammer curls because I don't got a lot of battery and I didn't feel like going and running to get my short shirt inside. But hammer curls, I had 3 sets of 10, so nothing crazy. 3 exercises today and now I'm done. And tomorrow I get deadlifts again. And now I'm gonna go on a longer walk, clear my mind a little bit, and then I'm gonna do some work, lunch, or work in the afternoon as well. So normal day coming up. And yeah, I'm very happy about this bench session, specifically like the last sets of 7s at 100 kilos. I showed you one set of that felt perfect because the first one I didn't really get depth, but then I felt like I got it. It's like I know that I can nail depth, like when I sink without losing strength, and that's like what has been a little bit weird because lately it's been like in my bench, like I've been losing a little bit of depth and I don't usually do that, but at this 100 I kind of get the hang of things, of how to sink to actually like hit it. But it definitely was a way better session than last Tuesday, and I think it's looking good. Like what I can be honest about is I got Worlds, and one thing that I am kind of scared about is, you know, that I usually become scared about, okay, what will my top end in the meet be that I can go and be confident to go and hit in the meet, since, you know, I so rarely hit my top numbers. I'm getting more used to that because like, I know Worlds last year, I did not hit my top numbers, but I was stronger than I was in training on meet day. And I hadn't hit my top numbers in a long time. And then now at Nationals, I just hit my top numbers like once, but in meet day, I was way stronger than that. So I kind of put a conservative plan for Nationals, also with Worlds coming, but also because I was a little bit scared of hitting weights like heavier. Like I've done 195 kilos in the squat in training, and I was like scared to go to do something like that, considering like my top weight in training was 185 and I missed 180 before doing that. So, you know, I was a little bit scared. But then, you know, things turned out okay. And now at Worlds, I'm kind of like, okay, if I can once in my training do 127.5 or 130 in bench, then that probably means when I am peaked, I will have it on meet day. I don't have to. Previously, I've been thinking if I want to do something on meet day, I have to hit it consistently in training. But the only thing that I kind of need to hit consistently in training and be able to hit is like my opener. Because what happens for me is I'm very rarely in like top end strength. And that's something you can be aware of, that you won't always be in top end strength. Like I'm very rarely in top end strength. And that sometimes causes me to like believe, okay, I'm getting weaker, I'm not making progress. But as soon as I'm like well rested, and you know, when either I had a deload or, you know, I've done a tapers for competition, you know, just when I'm well rested and fatigue is gone, then that's when I can hit my top end strength. The only thing is that when I am fatigued, I can't hit that top end strength. And like for Nationals, one thing, I would never get to like a top end and deadlifts actually. So I think like when I'm more well rested there, I got more kilos in me, and I'm starting to use bench is one of those that I've never really been able to get that feeling yet, but I'm getting confident this time around that, okay, I will be able to get, because I got it in Nationals, it was just that, you know, I had a different technique, but I'm getting more confident that, okay, I can hit 127.5 now when I'm not feeling perfect, that when I am peaked, it will be there. Will 5 kilos more be there? That's a different story, but my top end is usually like I can hit a top end strength weight like once, and then it takes months to be able to hit it again. And that's not because I'm getting weaker, it's just that to hit that top end, I have to be well rested. And that's just something that I'm realizing more and more in my training, and it also gives me a sort of confidence that, okay, what if I'm not my strongest now this session? That does not mean I won't be strong on meet day. I can like trust the process that it will eventually be strong. And that's something I take with me, and it's the hardest for me in the bench, but yeah. Overall, it felt good. It was a good session, and now I have to go and get going, but thank you so much for watching. And once again, as well, I want to say that if you're interested in coaching, just make sure you go to the link below in this video and you can schedule a call meeting. It is available English side if you go to the website and press English. Otherwise, it's Swedish. So if you are interested in coaching, just want to have a call with me and learn more, get to know me, I get to know you and see what your goals are. We can just talk to one another. It's not binding in any way. It's a call to make sure if you even want to coaching, if you feel it's good. So it's completely free, obviously, and then you get to decide in the call if you're interested in getting started with coaching. So click the link below for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.